and the stories coming in from like just events and a bunch of stuff was hilarious, man. It was a good time. I had a blast. Oh, do I want this MR? Yeah, we'll take MR and ignite. Actually, do I want? Yeah, let's do that. Better. Wait, tenacity, tenacity. Wait, no, wrong button. No. What food? They had everything, bro. It's a fucking. It's a buffet. There was a bunch of pizza. Like dude, there's just so much food there. But anyway, dude, working at Riot must actually be so sick. They're in Santa Monica. It's like, it's just too everything around there is too expensive, right? I'm glad they paid for all, like they paid all our stuff, but it's like, damn, it's crazy. Yep. What up, Brifter? The 18. Smash is whack, bro. Couldn't find Void, but I found some other people to play Street Fighter with. Oh, okay, okay. Void was probably doing competition or something. GG's, I heard they're hella sexist. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, obviously. The people I met were really cool. It's funny because anytime I say anything like that, though, my friend group goes like, "Okay, they'll listen to Adrian. He's a Riot shill. Everything he says is biased, so just ignore him." I go like, "All right, guys, that's fine." I recommend flashing. Okay, don't flash. Or you flash now when you're dead.
First blood. Executed.
Partner.
Oh, I got a flash myself.
What conflict awaits?
Oh, look a while, Ichigo. No, Ichigo gets hella tilted because he wants me to stream every day. And I'm the type of person that streams only whenever I'm having a ton of fun with something and I get like hella addicted. So I feel for him, bro.
My spirit is not lost.
Okay. Are you not having fun with Street Fighter? Oh, I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast with Street Fighter. But that game is like, I actually cannot play it for like 10 hours, or you know, like I can't even play it for like 6 hours straight because I need breaks in between. It's a very taxing game. I was watching BoxBox learn Street Fighter a couple of days ago. Sajam was coaching him, and you could tell even he just streaming like 4 hours was dying. So you stop enjoying Go Givers for reasons I don't care to stream now. Yeah, no, I feel that. That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel. Jesus Christ, what is this? What are the atomization feels so fucking weird. Yeah, bro. It's like streaming. You have to stream something you love, or you take the route of like just react content all day and just talk through YouTube videos. But I don't really enjoy doing that.
So long I've wandered.
Also, Shifter was playing Street Fighter 6 too, and he was telling me about how he's like hard stuck platinum, and he's having a really hard time with it because he's preparing for Project L. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that's usually where the game starts getting hard if you don't play fighting games, right? That's around there, like platinum, diamond. That's where like stuff starts becoming really annoying. Oh, whoops! Cancel my auto. That's not good. I'll take it. Cannon, please. Got it. Worth.
They've crossed the line.
Let's shove this. Starting up a side pot to in DMs later. Well, sounds good. I've been doing a bunch of stuff myself, so. But I still got time, so.
My
I'll work with you if you want, buddy.
sword mirrors.
That's a classic right there. The muscle memory never leaves me, man. Anyway, let me tell you guys what I was talking about with the, I think with Veteran, I think is his name. So there's this argument, but I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on it, because the logic that people bring with to me, they're like, oh no, getting Challenger in League of Legends now must be insanely difficult because compared to like previous seasons, because there's so much more knowledge of the game, right? Like there's like so much more like wave management and all this other stuff. And my counter argument was, League in older seasons had more mechanics, more micro. It had less comeback mechanics, right? Such as when you die, you walk back to lane and you're already there because you have the movement speed boost. You know, when you die, you don't get XP while you're dead, right? Like, there's a bunch of mechanics like that across the game, including like the micro aspect of the game. You don't get punished as much for making mistakes. My argument is that outside of like the wave management stuff, the game became a lot easier and a lot less punishing for people. So like, if you, I was saying like, if you're a challenger player from like season 5, 6, 4, whatever the hell, all you have to do is just tweak the strategy a little bit, and you can just climb up to wherever the hell you want to again. Just because I feel like the game is, the game is substantially harder in terms of knowledge, right? Of like champions and all that, but like they just removed so much from the game. Skill checks is what I call them. When you remove skill checks, it makes the game easier, right, for people. That was my point, and what he hit me was that he says that removing those skill checks removed variance, therefore making the game, you know, harder. And I'm like my brain short-circuited a little bit there, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. Talking about League? No, we're talking about League, yeah. Like, to me, if you fuck up your spacing and I kill you for it, right? And you're losing, like, sorry, you're not losing, like, I don't know, like 100+ gold or something based on the comeback mechanics of the game, right? That to me is just making the game like considerably easier for you, especially if you make mistakes. And because if you're a player who's taking advantages from those situations, you don't really get that reward anymore, right? Yeah, examples of skill checks that are gone. Well, I just mentioned like 2 or 3 things that were specifically not necessarily like skill checks, because skill checks are more like for example, let's say you played. I mean, well, obviously I play Riven, so I'm gonna give you like a bunch of things. So you were able to control the first minion wave states because there was like no ghosting, so you were able to create strategies based on that right away. Right? They removed that when I made videos around it. They removed mechanics from champions, like Riven, for example. Her combos, her Q combos were faster. Her canceling was faster. Her wards allowed her to turn the third Q towards enemies, so you were able to redirect Qs where you wanted to, right? Everything used to be faster input buffering wise. Let him out and just get our plates. She's gonna kill him in a second there, so. What's it called? And because snowballing got neutered so much, like for example, this guy dies, right? When he spawns, he's gonna get a movement speed boost that's gonna let him get back to the lane really, or like much faster, which is gonna deny me gold, right? So like, there's like, across the game, there's so many mechanics like that, right? They made warding a lot easier because you don't have to spend gold to get the wards. Right now, everyone has a trinket ward, right? the game tells you literally where the wards are now. For a while, like there'll be like a red circle on top of it, and it's like, hey, this area is warded, dude. By the way, remember this area is warded. They made jungling easier. They made mid laners like more like all the lanes like evenly spread now with the minion changes, right? Like you keep going. I can keep going to like probably like if I go through all the patch notes, like insane amount of changes. All those changes make the game easier.
A sword mirrors its own.
Yeah, positioning itself like around the game is also like changed because everyone just kind of moves faster. There's more movement around the game too. So it's like when I read stuff on Twitter or just in general where they're like, man, a player right now is just God. Imagine like you bring someone right now to fight Faker in season 4 mid lane, he just dominate. It's like, no, that's not true at all. At least not the way that you're thinking. If you have like optimized Chovy or something now, back like throwing him back then, yeah, of course. But like you're looking like the standard challenger player, it's not that big of a difference. By my brother. Obviously, it's a bit harder to explain this to people on Twitter because, you know, you have to type like 40 fucking pages when you're describing stuff like this. And there's also the whole thing now where it's like people just pay for blue check marks and they try to like bait you into engagement. So then you have to, they get paid for all the views of that tweet or whatever the hell. So it's like, I don't even want to interact. Whenever I see a blue check nowadays, like on that thing, I'm like, and I see like a stupid ass opinion, I'm just like, ah, they're just baiting me. I'm not gonna, you know, even give them the revenue. You have a chance to debate this stuff at Riot? No, the teams I talked to at Riot were not. Yeah, I didn't talk with the League of Legends team at all.
So long I've wandered.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, no, of course they do try to make it easier to get into, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was like I said, because that's a different argument. I was just talking about like how people assume they're like, oh yeah, no, like the game was so much easier back then. It's like, no, it's kind of the opposite actually, because you had all those skill checks happening. Why am I walking? Let me just keep pushing. Yeah, you had all those skill checks happening, so it's like it made the game more unforgiving. Now you can kill someone 30 fucking times and then they're playing Kayn, they get to late game and then they just kill you without like any thought process. Let me reset here. Yes, the game is less punishing for playing poorly, but that kind of like gets stacked on, like it keeps stacking and stacking itself with changes, so it's like becomes problematic. It was way easier to solo carry, of course. Of course, it was way easier to solo carry because you had those. So you were rewarded as a player for obtaining those skill checks and being better than your opponent in those spots. You were rewarded massively with win percentage increase, right? Would you not? Is that not how you want the game to be?
A sword mirrors its owner.
Yo, Booth, my bro, thanks for 13. Hello, sir. Nice to see you again. Appreciate it, Chief. Yeah, I'm just playing a little bit, man. Playing a couple of games. Playing some League and then playing some whatever else comes to mind in a couple of hours. Appreciate the subs, my bro.
How should I proceed?
Because I'm not really gonna have like a consistent stream schedule right now. I'm just kind of streaming whenever I'm feeling it. I'll have like a really consistent stream schedule down the line when like I don't know, like Project L comes around and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just vibing.
Learn from your mistakes.
Do you think paying for coaching is worth it? If you're a high level player already, it can be, yeah, because you need new information, new ideas of how things work, and it can like speed up your process. But if you're a beginner intermediate, I'd say you don't really need it. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt, right? If you think about it, it doesn't hurt because you do get, you know, to learn much faster, but financially it probably doesn't make too much sense. So I guess it depends. If you got the money and you know you don't mind spending it, yeah, it's not bad. But if you you know actually value like that part, then it's probably not worth it. You can learn a lot by yourself. I learned a lot of what I know by myself initially, and then once I was a challenger player is when I started looking at like alternative strategies so that I could get better over time. Well, one champion I really wanted to try initially when she had all her mechanics is actually in Italy, right here. She had auto cancels like the entire way through. Like every time she changed her form, she had an auto attack cancel, which gave her a lot of skill, you know, like her skill cap was very high. What do you feel about the game lately? I feel about this game the same way I felt for the past like 2 years or so about it. They haven't really made like any big like structural changes to the game, like fundamentally, right? So it still feels really samey to me. One of the things that I loved about this game was like the competitive aspect for the ladder, but it kind of got ruined with all the I guess like you could kind of say it's like we kind of deserve the way like the solo queue and everything kind of exploded for this game, with like all the boosting and win trader that happened on the server and all that other bullshit, right? And then Riot just removing the grassroots aspect of League of Legends to be more like you know, like obtaining challenger players from the ladder wasn't really as lucrative, I guess. It was better to just import people for the most part. So with all that in mind, like the game, like for me, because for me, like the game itself, just the base system, it's good. You can play it. You know, it's not a bad game. But that's not necessarily what like keeps me super engaged with the game. What kept me engaged is like the competitive aspect of it at high level. That's actually why I really like Street Fighter 6 right now. That game has like an MMR system for ranked, and whenever you just play, bro, it feels so fun. I could play that game for a while, but it's still you know, it's still a fighting game though, so it's like it's hard to play it for a long period of time without getting tired because there's so much stuff going on. Fuck, we tried it. Is there a reason for Eclipse Rush this game? No. No, there isn't. I'm just, I'm building items based on like game state because I don't actually know what's good. Because I haven't played actively in a long time. $32 LP. Oh boy, it's a lot. Easier as a point of view, isn't it? Like a game with combat mechanics, reduced tech, makes it more difficult. It's hard to compete with a opponent in a playing field. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you have a point with that, Brifter. Technically, like whenever you do